Hello and welcome to a walk around of, as you might have realised, a Shelby GT500. The ultimate Mustang, the top of the tree of the Mustang range. Only this one is a little bit different. And let me show you why. The steering wheel is on the right hand side. Before we get into that, let's have a look around what makes this car special. Because it is probably the only one in Australia. There may be another one somewhere, but as far as we are aware, it's the only one in Australia. And we've been granted permission to have a bit of a poke around it. It's going to a very wealthy and lucky customer who decided that he just had to have one. And the folks at Mustang Motorsport, as you can see, have decided to convert it. So, big obvious thing about the GT500 is under the bonnet, but let's go with the bodywork first. As you can see, it's a hell of a lot wider than a standard Mustang. This bit here is all tacked on width over a standard Mustang, and that allows us to have Michelin Pilot Sport tyres that are 305mm wide at the front, 305/30/20s. To put that in perspective, the rear tyres on a regular Mustang are 275. So this is another 30mm on the front. And if those discs look big, it's because they're 420mm rotors with 6-piston Brembo calipers. So that is the first evidence of how serious this car is. Even at the back, like the back brakes would be monsters on the front of a normal Mustang. 370mm discs, I think, 4-piston calipers, and 315mm wide tyres. Michelin Pilot Sport 4S. Now, this is the standard GT500. It doesn't have the carbon fibre pack. It brings a wing and carbon rims and all sorts of things. Nonetheless, still got a pretty impressive wing on it. And these massive quad tailpipes. And I'll just cut in here to show you what that sounds like. Amazing. When you look at it, it kind of looks like a regular Mustang. It's only when you sort of look at the details that you realise that this thing's pretty special, like the tyres, like the extra width in the car. As you can see, this massive vented bonnet. And just to prove I'm not telling fibs, Shelby GT500. That's me, pardon me. See the stripe package, but let's have a look under the bonnet. So, this is literally the engine room, the heart of the Shelby GT500, 5.2 litre supercharged V8, 567 kilowatts and 848 newton meters, I believe. Lots of grunt, that's 760 horsepower and 625 foot-pound, again for those who are overseas. This isn't quite finished because they're still in the process of converting it. But it's remarkable, this engine has sort of come out because to convert it, they take the firewall out and swap everything over, swap the brakes over, swap the steering over, the whole shebang. So an awful lot of work involved in this, and ignore some of the rough edges because it's not quite finished. But there you go. Look at that, hand built with pride by Chris Benoit, I think it is. Anyway, well done, Chris. So there you go, that's the heart and soul of the Shelby GT500. Now, when we have a look inside, we'll see the other good thing about this GT500. Because, as you can see, no gear stick. All you have is a little rotary controller for the 7-speed dual clutch gearbox, controlled by these paddles here, which is pretty damn cool. Even these little toggles are different. So there's a chrome in a normal Mustang, but here they are sort of a matte black. Got the gauges in the center console. GT500 chassis LO282. This carbon fiber strip has again been remanufactured for a right-hand drive. So again, so much work goes into actually converting one of these things. So weird to see a Mustang with, there's no gear stick, there's no automatic lever. It's just a little circular dial, but yeah, does the job. And of course the only dual clutch gearbox in a Mustang. These seats are pretty cool too. First time I've sat in them. Very snug Recaros. So there we go. More carbon fibre on the door trims. So obviously, you know, nothing groundbreaking here, but given that this is presumably the only right-hand drive Shelby GT500 in the world, and even seeing a Shelby GT500 is a pretty rare opportunity, thought I'd take a moment to let you have a look, have a walk around. Any questions? Leave it in the comments below.